from the pages of IHS Fan, the Austin area's premier high school football preview magazine. Welcome to Under the Lights, presented by ARS Rescue Rooter. And now, here are your hosts, Rick Epstein and Jeff Power.
Good evening, high school football fans. If you like Austin area high school football, this is your show. My name is Rick Epstein, publisher of IHS Fan, and my co-host is Jeff Power. Tonight, we have a great show planned. We will have our Taco Shack Coach Speak segment with the head coach of the Vandergrift Vipers, Drew Sanders. We'll have an Ask the Doc segment presented by Austin Regional Clinic with Dr. Padalecki, who will discuss the difference between breaks and sprains. Our Austin Gourmet Popcorn Booster Club Spotlight will feature the Lake Travis Football Booster Club. We'll have this week's schedule, predictions, and much, much more. As always, follow us on Twitter at IHSFan, and that's IHSFAN. As always, my partner for the week is Jeff Power. Jeff, how's it going?
Hey, I'm good. We've got a lot of good high school football games this weekend. I can't wait for Thursday and Friday, so definitely get out and support high school football in the Lone Star State.
Wonderful. Let's first say a big thank you to our title sponsor, ARS Rescue Rooter. Each week we have the ARS Rescue Rooter Team of the Week. This week's team is the Del Valley Cardinals. Coach Charles Burton, now in his fifth season, has his squad undefeated at 3-0 for the first time in 50 years. Wow. The Cardinals went into the Palace on Friday and beat a very good McNeil team 51-30. The game featured 42 points in the fourth quarter as both teams scored 3 times. The Cardinal offense amassed a total of 572 yards, with an astonishing 504 of that coming on the ground. Alfred Greer had 176 yards rushing, and Chris Martinez added 186 to lead the way. The defense picked off the Mavs 3 times. Coach Burton should look to improve to 4-0 as this week they play Reagan and they should roll. Congrats to the Del Valley Cardinals for being the ARS Rescue Rooter Team of the Week. And we are going to bring on Coach Sanders any minute from the Vandergrift Vipers for our Taco Shack Coach Speak. Coach Sanders, are you on the line?
Yes, sir. How we doing?
Wonderful, Coach. This is Rick Epstein and Jeff Powers here. Each week we bring a different coach on for the Taco Shack Coach Speak. And, Coach, listen, I was out at Monroe Stadium a couple weeks ago for the Cedar Park game. What an incredible atmosphere you've got going on. I think folks were lined up 10 deep in standing room only areas. What is it about the Viper football program that draws such incredible support from your community?
You know, I'm not quite sure how to answer that. I just know that we're blessed to have an amazing community that really supports their kids. And it's not just football. They show up for basketball games. They show up for the fans.
We might have lost Coach Sanders. We're going to try to go. But Jeff, I was out there at Monroe Stadium, and literally it was packed. Of course, it was against Cedar Park, but it was an incredible game. The toughest part of it is getting out of the stadium afterwards. But Coach, do we have you back?
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. So you were talking about your community.
Well, I was just going to compliment our community because it's been really fun from the first time we opened the school doors. There has been such an excitement to have their own school in the community and be able to cheer for them, and they have shown up in droves. Anytime we play a home game, it's actually ridiculous how many people are there, and it's really cool.
Hey, Coach, Jeff Power here. How you doing?
Great.
I was at your opener against the Odessa Permian Panthers. It was a winnable game, with Mojo kind of taking over the stadium there at Ratliff towards the end in that 28-24 win. But, hey, let's throw out the loss to Cedar Park and pick it up with the 45-24 win over Killeen. How far has Justin Moore come with 680 yards passing to go with 8 touchdown passes?
Yeah, he really has. He really has. He is a senior, but this is his first year to start. So, his strides are being made not even by game, it's by drives, by series. He's getting better and better and better. And so really proud of his effort. I mean, he was extremely accurate the other night. Threw the ball where only our receivers could get it several different times. And so really pleased with him. He's able to, I think he threw for 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. So did a really nice job.
So last year you had some great success in the playoffs as your team played its first year ever against 6A competition. How does playing in such a tough district, I mean 25 6A, is just murderous, how does that help you come playoff time?
Yeah, I mean, our district and our pre-district, our entire schedule is just really, really difficult. And it's, I set it up, the pre-district, because I wanted to get better. And then our district, of course, the UL picks for us. But, I mean, great competition makes you better, as iron sharpens iron, as the Bible says. So, I mean, you will get better and better because you have to. You better, because if not, they're going to get after you. So I've been impressed with the way our young men have handled that, and it continually rises us up to a level of competition that maybe even surprises me sometimes.
Hey, Coach, your defense is getting better and better, too. Oso and Faison Chukwu is looking good, as always, 29 tackles. Yeah. You got Cole Walther with 28 tackles. But your leading tackler is actually Jonathan Roth with 35, so you're kind of getting it done with a whole bunch of guys on that side of the ball.
Yeah, I really like our defense, and they made several key plays there tonight. And Jonathan Roth, the guy you're talking about, blocked a punt against Killeen, too. So, I mean, he is an excellent player, tall. He's kind of plays our field safety. We call it a joker. And he is about 6'1" and about 200 pounds and just all over the place. So, we've got several great players on our defense, and I think the results are showing.
Coach, you have such a great relationship all the way down to, I believe, the youth leagues that play on the field on Saturdays. Yeah. So many schools in the area, the Lake Travis, the West Lakes, Cedar Parks, have found that getting them, being part of the youth programs is a big part of their success. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, those are the kind of programs that we wanted to kind of model it after. You know, when I first got the job, within a week, I had about 3 or 4 dads come to me, all coordinated, and said, "Hey, we need to go have lunch because we've got a proposal for you." And this literally was within 2 weeks of me getting this job. And they proposed that we began to start a kind of a Viper Pop Warner, if you will. And from that meeting, they started it and got my blessing. And, of course, we had to go through LISD and all those other things that you do. But it was pretty amazing, the action that those parents took. And then, of course, we've got one of the biggest Pop Warner groups in the area. And it's neat because those guys grow up wanting to be Vipers. And I'm coaching now. This is my 9th year at Vandergrift, so I'm coaching guys that played in that Pop Warner League and grew up wanting to be Vipers. So I just think that's the way good programs do it, and it's been fun to see that happen.
Yeah, that's great. You know, when I was out there at Cedar Park, they ran through the tunnel and had a youth sports night. It was something to see. Coach Sanders, as a thank you for being on Coach Speak presented by Taco Shack, Taco Shack wants to reward your school's administrative office. So if you can have one of your school's administrators contact me this week, Taco Shack will arrange for them to pick up 100 free breakfast tacos courtesy of Taco Shack. How does that sound?
That sounds great. Are they going to the coach's office, or where are they going?
You and the administrative office can decide where they go. I bet Oso and Faison Chukwu would want a few.
He for sure would.
Well, Coach Sanders, thank you so much. He's one of the true great coaches in the Austin area. We're blessed, Jeff, with so many great coaches around the Austin area, but Coach Sanders is one of the tops.
Yeah, he really is. In fact, he's got like 4 or 5 senior wide receivers to throw the ball to now. He's loaded with some seniors over there. Yeah. All those Pop Warner guys coming through.
It's funny. So let's talk a little bit about ACC. What's your plan? What will you do after high school? Whether you want to earn a degree, get ahead with transfer classes, or train for a good job, Austin Community College is there to help. ACC's College Destination Center offers one-on-one advising to help you get your plans on track. It's never too early to start. Get personalized assistance with career exploration, financial aid, applying for college, and other questions, big or small. Contact ACC at austincc.edu/start now or call 512-223-7747. That's austincc.edu/start now. ACC. Start here, get there. So we'll go immediately right into this week's game schedule. On Thursday night, we have Aikens at McCallum. That's at House Park. Burnett is at Crockett at Berger. Manor at LBJ at Nelson. And Leander plays at Stony Point at Kelly Reeves. On Friday night, Cedar Creek at Bastrop in another 19-5A district matchup. Cedar Park at Eastview. Connolly at Hutto in a big one.
And look out for that one.
Georgetown at Elgin. Austin heads to House Park, where they've played 9 of their games this year against Anderson. A big one in this area, Bowie at Westlake. We'll talk more about that later.
Ow.
Lake Travis at Hendrickson. Temple plays at Cedar Ridge. That's at Kelly Reeves, another good one. Del Valley, the undefeated Cardinals, will get another win against Reagan at Nelson Field, I believe. Eastside at Travis. Hayes at San Antonio Reagan. Round Rock, who's winless, I don't know, remember the last time they were winless at this point, plays at Belton. San Marcos at San Antonio Taft. Killeen at McNeil. Pflugerville heads to College Station. Harker Heights at Vandergrift. Coach Drew Sanders, we just spoke with. Westwood at Vista Ridge. Hyde Park at Shiner. And Regents at Houston second. So we'll review some games that we picked last week. Just so you know, Jeff, in the predictions last week, I was an astonishing 3-0, where you were 2-1.
Yeah.
So I
dropped one. I did.
You dropped one. I was just flawless in my 3-0 prediction. But let's talk a little bit about recap. We'll start with the big one last week, Hutto at Georgetown. Jeff, tell us about it.
Yeah, keep in mind, last year, Georgetown beat Hutto 35-32 in overtime after a missed field goal by the Hippos in regulation. Well, what comes around goes around. At Birkelback, Hutto defeated Georgetown 25-23 on a 32-yard field goal by the man who missed it the year before, Isidoro Barrios. So good luck. Good for him. I mean, just, to get that win, I know he was really excited. That happened right as time expired. But the story was Hutto's quarterback, Chase Griffin, his ability to throw the ball well early, as DJ Baptist had 11 catches for 229 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. I mean, think about that. That's incredible. Now, including, he had that 68-yard reception with just under 6 minutes to play to give the Hippos a 22-20 lead. Hutto had jumped on Georgetown with a pair of touchdowns early on, only to have the Eagles soar back into the game behind 245 yards passing from Cooper Bell. And they're getting a lot of good receiving from Caden Leggett, who finished with 9 receptions for 172 yards and 2 scores. His 63-yard reception in the second quarter, followed by a 10-play, 68-yard drive in the fourth quarter that ended with Bell connecting with senior Nick Crombie for a 17-yard TD pass. That made it 16-14. In fact, Georgetown actually led when Bell rang up his third TD pass, this one to Leggett, only to have Chase Griffin answer with the 68-yard pass we talked about, and then Georgetown got a 27-yard field goal from the game winner there to win it, 23-22. So, again, what comes around goes around. A good win for Hutto. They answered with that 9-play, 54-yard drive. And got that field goal to win it. And Hutto looks like the real deal. In fact, Chuck's Nwabaku, you want to help me with that?
Nwaboko.
There we go. Thank you.
I believe.
Had 43 yards on 13 carries, and he transferred from Hendrickson. The Hippos have scored 124 points this year, including big wins over Bryan and Rudder. And, of course, next up for the Hippos will be the Hutto Hippos will be the Connolly Cougars. So, but the Hutto defense allowed no passing yards against Rudder. They've been tested a few times against Georgetown, but they've really stood the test.
Yeah, and that game in the fourth quarter, Georgetown driving with about 7 minutes left, the lights went out. Ooh. They forgot to pay their electric bill. No, the lights went out, and they were out for 20 minutes as Georgetown was driving. They did go ahead with the field goal, and then Chase Griffin. I'm gonna give him a new nickname. By the way, he's an IHS fan, top 10 player. Mm-hmm. From now on, his nickname, the Iceman. He comes in with 2 minutes left and had to drive the field to get in position for Isidoro Barrios to kick that winning field goal.
Yeah, good job by him. So a good win for Hutto all the way around. And, Georgetown played well, too. They'll bounce back. I mean, Coach Jason Dean does a great job there. And Eric Anderson, great running back for them as well.
Yeah. Leander at Westwood. I predicted Westwood would win going away, and that's exactly what happened as the Warriors beat the Lions 46-21 at Dragon Stadium. Jumping out to a 22-0 lead, the Warriors never looked back. Leander was really hampered by 116 yards in penalties. But senior wide receiver Dalton Flowers was the star for Leander, as he was able to rack up a ton of yardage and caused matchup problems for Coach Anthony Wood's defense all night long. As for Coach Wood's Warrior squad, the team was led by first-team All-District wide receiver Dylan Frazier, who had 7 catches, 115 yards, and a TD. IHS Van top 10 player Jakeem Murphy came back from an injury he received last week to rush for 11 times and 85 yards and a touchdown. Quarterback Will Jennings was 21 of 32 for 220. The Warriors improved to 2-1 on the season, while Coach Smith's Lions fall to 0-3. Leander plays Stony Point at Kelly Reeves. And we'll talk a little bit about Stony Point. They had to forfeit their 2 wins on the season. We don't really have an idea of why. I made some calls. The bottom line is they have to forfeit their 2 wins. They're 0-3 right now. They play on Thursday night at Kelly Reeves against Leander, and Westwood heads to Gupton to play Vista Ridge.
Now 3-0 Bowie, top 2-1 Vista Ridge, 52-31. Hey, the key moment in that game, Rick, Bowie blocked a Vista Ridge field goal just before the half that actually would have pulled the VR Rangers within a point. Instead, it was returned for a touchdown, and then Bowie comes out, opening kickoff. They score a touchdown to start the third quarter. Ball game over. And have you had a chance to see Trinidad Sanders, the quarterback for Bowie? I mean, he's just been fantastic. 435 yards passing, 212 yards rushing. He was great in the first half versus Vista Ridge. Bowie's wide receivers are incredible as well. Isaiah Santiago, really quick, can get it going. Elijah Higgins is another one. I mean, watch out for them, especially coming up this week. More on that in just a little bit. But they got about 500 yards in receptions between the two of them. Bowie's good. Vista Ridge is improving, especially on offense. VR had 475 yards of total offenses versus Bowie. The problem is the Rangers' defense put their offense in a bind. Penalties continue to hurt the Rangers, turnovers, etc. Vista Ridge head coach Rodney Vincent says his Rangers have seen a good ball control rushing team in San Antonio Southwest, a team the Rangers scheduled at the last minute to replace Corpus Christi Flower Bluff. They've seen a lot of different styles now with Bowie. They think they're getting ready. They play Westwood this week. By the time they start district play, they will have seen everything they need to see, and they think they'll have it all together.
Yeah, Bowie is plays Westlake. Yes, and listen, the kid at quarterback is Trinidad is replacing the quarterback Wheeler, who may come back, and Coach Abels is going to have a tough decision to make because of the great play. But yes, LBJ at Anderson, I predicted a big win for Coach Andrew Jackson, and they came through. His Jags thumped the Trojans 48-20. Jags quarterback Aaron Green passed for 167 yards and 3 TDs. Anderson fell behind 41-0 before they got on the board in the second half. LBJ, listen to this, Jeff. LBJ punted for the first time of the game in the fourth quarter.
Gosh.
Anderson faces Austin High this week. LBJ gets tested again with a tough Maynard team.
Yeah, LBJ's been looking good. I'm impressed. And Maynard kind of took a step back this past week. More on that in a moment, too. Hey, the 5th-ranked Westlake Chaparrals defeated Pflugerville 52-3. They allowed a total of 71 yards of offense to the Panthers. Taylor Anderson, the quarterback for Westlake, has been lighting it up. He's averaging about 370 yards per game, that offense is, but that's a lot to do with that passing. He's got a big offensive line, and, of course, Nakia Watson. I mean, he's Wisconsin-bound. He averages 185 yards rushing per game. This is as good as Westlake has been in a while. They're ranked number 5 for a reason. The Chaps are averaging about 50 points per game, 300 yards rushing per game. I mean, on and on. The Chaps' defense has only given up a couple of touchdowns per contest. Keep in mind, though, they lost to Bowie 19-16 the first time Todd Dodge played him. Just keep that in mind for later on for this discussion when they do take on Bowie. Now, the Panthers, hey, they've got some work to do. They're 1-2. In fact, Pflugerville ISD in general is 0-4 at their new field.
Yeah.
So,
some home field advantage.
They got to start getting that turned around out there. But Pflugerville will try to get their second win on the road. They'll take on College Station High School Friday, who only lost to the Chaps by a touchdown in Week 1. The Panthers' 30-13 victory, by the way, over Leander was at AC Bible Stadium on September 7th we'll see if George Herman can get more of that type of performance this Friday against the Cougars.
Yeah, Nakia Watson, an IHS fan, top 10 player. You know, when he was out at our photo shoot in the springtime, he really filled out his jersey. He is a load. I would not want to tackle Nakia Watson. When we come back from our break, we will have our Ask the Doc segment presented by Austin Regional Clinic. This week, we met with Dr. Padalecki, and we discussed the difference between breaks and sprains. We'll have our Dave Campbell's Texas Football Great Moments and much, much more. You are listening to 104.9 The Horn, Under the Lights.
Listen to Bucky and Aaron for the local music spotlight with Tom Gimbel. Thursdays at 9:30 as the general manager of Austin City Limits tells you the best live music around the city for the weekend and beyond.
This could be the next big one out of Austin. They're going to be at Hotel Vegas.
Brought to you by Ultimate Classic Cars. Fulfilling your dreams of owning your very own customized Cobra replica sports car. Make the short drive to Bernie for a showroom tour and visit them on the web at ultimateclassiccars.com.
Hi, I'm Orlando Arriaga, owner of the Taco Shack. Start your day off right at Taco Shack with a breakfast taco or a low-carb breakfast bowl. And also visit our newest location in Cedar Park. Taco Shack, supporting area high school football for over 16 years. And we're really proud of the kids and the cheerleaders band and drill teams and all the teachers that have supported Taco Shack over the years. Enjoy the 2017 high school football season.
Bush's Chicken is a proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs, with stores in Cedar Park, Round Rock, Georgetown, North Austin, and South Austin, and coming soon to Pflugerville. Bush's serves the Texas standard in real hand-battered fried chicken and crispy tenders, tasty rolls, and that famous Bush's sweet tea. Bush's Chicken. It's good, good, good.
UT and Texas State are right down the road, but there's a shortcut that makes getting there more accessible and less expensive for thousands of Central Texans. Start a 4-year degree with a transfer plan at Austin Community College. ACC is the #1 college for transfers to UT and Texas State, and with tuition that's 80% less than other area colleges. It's a path to higher education that could save you serious money. Start planning today at austincc.edu. That's austincc.edu. ACC. Start here, get there. When is popcorn more than just popcorn? When it's Austin Gourmet Popcorn. Conveniently located off Highway 183, Austin Gourmet Popcorn features more than 65 mouth-watering flavors of popcorn. But that's just the beginning. Austin Gourmet Popcorn is the best candy store north of Lady Bird Lake with over 400 kinds of bulk and packaged candy. Stop in and visit Austin Gourmet Popcorn at 13343 Highway 183 North, Suite 250, or visit them online at austingourmetpopcorn.com.
Fall is here, and along with cooler temperatures, it's bringing great rewards thanks to the Take the Money and Ride event from Cooper Tires. For a limited time, you can receive up to a $100 Cooper Tires prepaid card when you buy a new set of 4 qualifying tires, including the high-performance Cooper Xeon RS3 G1, the long-lasting Cooper CS5 Grand Touring, the rugged Cooper Discover AT3, and many more. Stop in today and discover why smart drivers have been counting on Cooper since we opened our doors in 1914. For more information or to find a Cooper Tires dealer near you, visit CooperTire.com.
AutoNation Chevy supports breast cancer research by putting a pink plate on every car sold and serviced. Drive pink in a new 2017 Silverado 1500 LT Crew Cab, $15,000 off MSRP. Or a new 2017 Malibu LS, $17,991. Just add tax, title, license, and $150 doc fee with approved credit. Silverado MSRP $51,895 minus $9,500 Chevy rebate and $5,500 AutoNation discount. Malibu MSRP $24,160 minus $3,500 Chevy rebate and $26,69 AutoNation discount. Expires end of month. Find new roads at AutoNationChevyAustin.com. Beep, beep.
And Dale Jr. in his number 88 degree deodorant car takes the checkered. Let's go down to Victory Lane. Dale, congrats on the win. How'd you feel out there?
There was a lot of pressure on the track, but my pit crew worked hard all day long, which kept me confident. And our degree car was fast. With the high temps inside, I'm sure glad I had a deodorant to keep me dry from start to finish. I'm happy we could bring this one home for the fans.
Thanks, Dale.
When the pressure's on, Degree won't let you down. Grab your Degree deodorant at HEB today.
Diamonds Direct's most amazing offer ever is going strong. Everyone loves 5 years zero-interest financing. Imagine that $6,000 GIA certified diamond for only $100 a month. Don't miss this incredible once-a-year event. 5 years zero interest on any purchase. Rings, earrings, bands, designer jewelry. How about a $2,000 pair of diamond hoop earrings for less than $35 a month? Hurry, this is a limited time offer. 5 years, zero interest, nothing down, nothing held back. Exclusively at Diamonds Direct at the Domain. On approved credit.
Yeah, we are back for the second segment of Under the Lights. This is our 5th show, Jeff. Time is flying. Amazing.
We'll be in district play in no time.
Yes. So each week we spend some time with the fine doctors out at Austin Regional Clinic. This week we meet with Dr. Padalecki, and we discuss the difference between breaks and sprains. So right now we'll go to Ask the Doc segment. Ask a Doc is presented by Austin Regional Clinic, connecting patients to quality care in Central Texas every day, night, and weekend. ARC, primary care doctors, specialists, and medical teams at 22 locations help keep you connected with MyChart messages to your care team, online test results, online prescription refills, and easy online scheduling options. Our doctors and staff coordinate your care and help guide you through the medical maze. And when you are sick, you can see a doctor that same day or night. It's that easy. That's the advantage when you choose ARC, connected care for you and your family. This is Rick Epstein for the Ask a Doc segment, presented by Austin Regional Clinic. We're here with Dr. Padalecki, an orthopedic surgeon with ARC. Dr. Padalecki, welcome, and let's talk a little bit about breaks versus sprains. What is the difference between a bone break and a sprain?
Rick, this is a question I get a lot. When we talk about a break, that's usually referred to officially as a fracture, and that's a failure of the integrity of the bone. It's a crack, it's a split, it's a, in some cases, multiple pieces type break, and that usually occurs from a high impact or some kind of sports injury. A sprain, on the other hand, usually refers to stretching or injury to ligamentous tissue. A common example of that in an athlete is an MCL sprain, one of the ligaments of the knee which can be injured during sports.
What are some of the expected healing times for a broken bone versus a sprain?
It's interesting. Fractures of a bone have a very different healing time depending on age. For you and I would say most fractures can heal in 6 to 8 weeks and probably a full 12 weeks before returning to normal activities. However, for people 10 and under, fractures can actually heal really quick, and in some cases we get very young athletes back to sport within 6 weeks or maybe even 5 weeks in some cases. A sprain, on the other hand, can take a while, and a sprain has different grades, so in some cases a sprain can even leave a ligament where it's not even working. So in those cases, that might need a surgical treatment. In sprains that are only a mild injury, they can usually heal within 6 weeks' time.
Wow. What can an athlete expect once the healing process is complete?
Our bodies are really well adapted for healing of fractures. And for many cases where a fracture does not actually involve the joint space, athletes can return to sports with really no change at all. For a sprain, it can be similar. If it's a low-grade sprain, many athletes heal these ligaments well. And there are many locations in the body where we just know that ligaments have a great chance to heal. On the other hand, some ligaments just don't heal that well, and we can predict that athletes can't return to their prior level, and in some cases those ligament sprains even need to be treated with a surgical type of procedure.
So you've been an orthopedic surgeon many years, what are some of the most common fractures that you see in athletes?
Rick, I see all kinds of fractures. It's common in athletes to sustain ankle fractures or wrist fractures or even of the clavicle. We have roller derby girls that show up in the clinic sometimes who have ankle fractures, which you can guess with that kind of sport, but also because of the constriction of the roller skates. Wrist fractures happen to all kinds of athletes who land on an outstretched hand. Clavicle fractures are also common in football players. They land directly on that shoulder, and the force is transmitted directly to the collarbone, and we see that thing bust. These are all fractures that can be treated effectively, sometimes with a cast. Sometimes a surgery is required to put these bones back into proper alignment.
Thank you so much, Dr. Padalecki, for being part of ARC's Ask a Doc segment.
Thanks, Rick.
Today's Ask a Doc is provided by the orthopedists at Austin Regional Clinic, offering a Saturday injury clinic every Saturday in the fall from 8 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at MPT Orthopedics. Our orthopedists are experts in the muscles, bones, and joints of children and adults. We use surgical and non-surgical procedures to help return our patients to pain-free mobility and full strength as quickly and as painlessly as possible. ARC offers 6 orthopedic locations, including clinics in Austin, Round Rock, and Cedar Park. For easy access to the orthopedic care you need, visit arcorthopedics.com. That's the advantage when you choose ARC, connected care for you and your family. That was Dr. Padalecki from the Austin Regional Clinic. We thank them, and we're getting a lot of great feedback on these segments. Great stuff, and we thank those folks. And now it's time for the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Great Moments in High School Football. Jeff, what do we have tonight?
Absolutely. I remember this one well. Dave Campbell's Texas Football presents Great Moments in Texas High School Football. Let's start with 1979. Plano defeats Highland Park 29-28. Now, Plano had no business winning this state quarterfinal game versus the Scots. The Wildcats turned the ball over 4 times and falling behind 28-0 late in the third quarter. Led by quarterback Scott Ulmer, Plano fought its way back to be down 7 with just 33 seconds remaining. The comeback was complete when a trick play, the wide receiver pass from Stevie Haynes to his brother Perry, put Plano down 1. Plano finished the comeback with a gutsy 2-point conversion from Ulmer to secure Plano's win and propel them to their 4th state championship in program history. Be sure to catch the latest football news in the Lone Star State for high school, college, and recruiting at www.texasfootball.com. Subscribe today to become an insider and get 50% off, only $19.95. You'll get the latest news, and our magazines will be shipped straight to your mailbox every year. Stick with TexasFootball.com throughout this football season for insight and analysis as only Dave Campbell's Texas Football can provide.
That's great stuff. Let's talk a little bit about Austin Community College. What is your plan? What will you do after high school? Whether you want to earn a degree, get ahead with transfer classes, or train for a good job, Austin Community College is there to help. ACC's College Destination Center offers one-on-one advising to help get your plans on track. It's never too early to start. Get personalized assistance with career exploration, financial aid, applying for college, and other questions big or small. Contact ACC at austincc.edu/startnow or call 512-223-7747. That's austincc.edu/startnow. ACC. Start here, get there. So now we'll talk a little bit about the Austin Gourmet Booster Club Spotlight. Folks, have you been to this place, Austin Gourmet Popcorn, up on North 183? If not, you got to do yourself a favor and go and see all the, I think they've got 60-plus flavors of popcorn, all types of candy, and great craft soda. Scott and his crew up there have it really going on. Tonight's Booster Club Spotlight, presented by the Austin Gourmet Popcorn, is the Lake Travis Football Booster Club. From humble beginnings in the 80s and 90s, the program has experienced amazing success over the last several years. The last 10 years, they've won 6 state championships and played for another. The Lake Travis Football Booster Club has been right there through this growth, supporting the program and the coaching staff as Lake Travis has become one of the most successful high school football programs, not only in the state of Texas, but the entire country. The mission of the Booster Club is to support the needs of the program and to enhance the experience of the players, parents, and fans. This volunteer organization runs 2 main events through the year. In May, during spring football practice, as it ends with the golf tournament and the spring jamboree, which is an all-day event ending with the spring game that it gives fans the first glimpse of next year's team. Festivities that day include the Taste of Lakeway, which features samples from local restaurants, and the famous punt, pass, and kick competition, which gives young players a chance to show their skills. In the fall, women spend a relaxed evening with the coaches at the Huddles and Heels event. In addition to silent and live auctions, football moms, grandmothers, and friends listen to fun-filled presentations by Coach Carter and the rest of the coaching staff about football and the upcoming season. These events receive fantastic support from the entire Lake Travis community. The funds raised help to provide much-needed equipment such as helmets, shoulder pads, knee braces, and practice gear, as well as travel expenses for away game meals. Around Christmas, with the Caring Calves program, it also helps to make money for the holidays for special Lake Travis neighbors or friends in need. Congrats to the Lake Travis Football Booster Club. Listen, Cav Nation, Austin Gourmet Popcorn wants to reward all of Cav Nation this week. Stop by the shop in the next 7 days with your Cav Spirit gear on and ask for your 10% discount. Again, as always, folks, please follow us on Twitter at IHSFan. As we're going to talk a little bit about right now, as we have a little bit of time. Let's talk a little bit about this week and the big games you're looking for, Jeff.
Well, obviously, Westlake Bowie. I mean, we'll get into more details after the break, but just a huge game. I think Bowie's got a shot. I really do. And, who would have said that, in years past? They've beaten them 4 times since 2007. Westlake is playing really well, though. This is one of the best Westlake teams I've seen. And you'd mentioned something about, you're talking about Lake Travis and what, with Gourmet Popcorn being one of the sponsors there with the Booster Club. Each week, they bring it. I mean, they come out and they bring it, for football. And I just wanted to give a quick shout out because I got to know Jack Moss and those guys over there real well when Jack was the athletic director. And they had a lot to do with me producing a documentary on them, The Quest for Greatness, the Lake Travis story. But that program there, it starts in the off season. These programs that really work hard throughout the off season, they build these programs up. They've always got a quarterback waiting in the wings to take over the reins. You see that with Westlake. You see that with Lake Travis. And you're starting to see it with Bowie. Right. Who knows, man? I think these are some good times for high school football in Central Texas. And, Cedar Ridge, that game out there with Temple is another really good one. Yeah. I'd look at going to that game at Kelly Reeves if you weren't going to the Bowie game against Westlake.
Yeah, and I'm going to look for Round Rock. Coach Jeff Cheatham was the inaugural Coach of the Year, IHS Fan Coach of the Year last season. They went further than they ever have out there in over 100 years of playing football out of Round Rock. They're 0-3, Jeff, and they need to get in the win column to get some confidence. When we come back, we will have what the entire Austin community has been talking about, our prediction statement. And hey, Jeff, we've got a new sponsor of the prediction. It's so popular, we're getting calls left and right. Alpha Graphics of Cedar Park is now the sponsor of our predictions. When we come back, you're listening to 104.9 The Horn, Under the Lights.
B&E.
It's names you'll know, I promise you. And one of them played for you, Buck.
Really?
Yeah.
Roster imposter?
Not Ron McKelvey. Won't be Ron McKelvey, no sir. Ron McKelvey, who for folks that don't know, was a player in the 90s who showed up at Texas. He had come from a junior college and turned out to be a different person.
30 years old.
He's a 30-year-old grown man who used to come to your house and drink coffee and smoke cigarettes.
I knew something was up with that. I just knew when everybody else was looking for iced tea at Thanksgiving.
His name was actually Ron Weaver.
Ron Weaver said, Buck, I need some coffee. I mean, little cream? No, just black. I'm like, something's not right here.
On the Horn.
Bush's Chicken is a proud supporter of area schools, athletic programs, and booster clubs, with stores in Cedar Park, Round Rock, Georgetown, North Austin, and South Austin, and coming soon to Pflugerville. Bush's serves the Texas standard in real hand-battered fried chicken and crispy tenders, tasty rolls, and that famous Bush's sweet tea. Bush's Chicken. It's good, good, good.
Hi, I'm Orlando Arriaga, owner of the Taco Shack. Start your day off right at Taco Shack with a breakfast taco or a low-carb breakfast bowl. And also visit our newest location in Cedar Park. Taco Shack, supporting area high school football for over 16 years. And we're really proud of the kids and the cheerleaders, band, and drill teams and all the teachers that have supported Taco Shack over the years. Enjoy the 2017 high school football season.
Make sure your AC system keeps your home cool and comfortable with a call to ARS 777-7000. As Austin's #1 home services company, we have the expertise to keep your system in tip-top shape. Right now, AC service calls are free with repair. That's right, call today and the service call is free with repair. Don't let a broken down AC burn you up. Stay cool, save big with a free AC service call from ARS 777-7000 or visit ars.com. License number TACLB 102680.
Getting that dream ring is easier than ever with 5 years 0 interest financing right now at Diamonds Direct. How about an $8,000 Tacori ring with a GIA certified diamond and paying just $135 a month? Or a $3,000 pair of diamond stud earrings, only $50 a month? It's Diamonds Direct's most incredible offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest on any purchase. Get that ring now with super low payments with absolutely no interest. Only in September and only at Diamonds Direct at the Domain on approved credit.
At Advance Auto Parts, we offer you the quality parts you want and knowledge you need to help get you back on the road. And we're always looking for ways to help you save. Right now, get Carquest conventional motor oil for just $2.96 a quart. Talk about an amazing price. Plus, find great prices on Carquest's full line of motor oil. Go to Advance or participating Carquest Auto Parts stores to take advantage of this great offer while it lasts. Advance Auto Parts, where oil is priced like it should be.
It's Aaron Hogan for Viking Fence. And listen, if you're in the market for a wood privacy fence for your home or business, most important thing you can do is get as much information as possible. That's why I love telling you about our friends at Viking Fence. And here's the thing, whether you choose Viking Fence or someone else for your project, the pros at Viking Fence have built a how to buy a fence guide to ensure that you get the best value for your dollar. When you read up on the how to buy a fence guide at vikingfence.com, you'll be able to ask the right questions. Is your contractor specifying the exact grade of red cedar? If not, he may be substituting with a lower grade that costs less. Is your contractor specifying treated pine posts and rails? Treated pine is cheaper and prone to twisting. Did your contractor specify what grade of fasteners they are using? Lower grades of nails and screws will rust and stain your new fence in a matter of weeks. And how about making sure your contractor is specifying steel posts? They specify the thickness of the steel. Thin gauge steel posts are prone to breaking under heavy winds. These are all incredibly important questions that you should be asking when it's time for that new fence. Visit their How to Buy a Fence pages on vikingfence.com. Since 1972, right here in Central Texas, nobody does it better. When you think fence, think Viking.
Yeah, we're back. The final segment of this week's, the 5th edition of Under the Lights. Before we get into our great prediction segments and new sponsor, I wanted just to throw it over to Zach Lucero, the crafty producer. Tell us a little bit about Chooks and his talents on the baseball field, too.
Yeah, we're talking about Chooks Nwabuku, who transferred from Hendrickson to Hutto. And not only on the football field is he one of the fastest guys out there, but on the baseball field, too. He has the record right now for Perfect Game America, which is a baseball showcase, the fastest 60 time in his class. So to everyone in the nation and that graduates in his class, he has the fastest time. So he was a huge addition to not only Hutto's football team, but baseball team as well, and a big loss for Hendrickson.
Yes, that was.
There it is.
Chooks, there it is. And Coach Steve Van Meter over at Hutto is loaded on the offense. So let's talk a little bit about predictions, but before we get it, we want to welcome our new sponsor for the prediction segment, Alpha Graphics of Cedar Park, located right off Whitestone Boulevard at New Hope Road, is your premier one-stop shop for all your printing and signage needs. Craig and the team will be happy to turn your ideas into reality with their top-notch graphics designers and state-of-the-art printing equipment. A staff dedicated to quality will ensure that you are pleased with your product. Alpha Graphics of Cedar Park will be happy to assist you in developing a marketing campaign to reach your customers in an effective and efficient manner. From business cards to exterior signage and everything in between, Alpha Graphics of Cedar Park is the place to go. Remember Alpha Graphics of Cedar Park to get noticed, get business. Give them a call at 512-267-2022. That's 512-267-2022. Mention Under the Lights, and listen to this. They're going to give you 10% off your order. So head on in there tomorrow and see Craig and the crew. So we're going to start with a little housekeeping predictions presented by Alpha Graphics. Jeff, for the season, your featured predictions, you are 6-3 on the season. I'm 7-2 on the season. At this time, we're going to ask Zach Lucero to hit it and give us some music, because we can't do predictions without music. Round Rock at Belton. Who would have thought, when looking at this schedule a few weeks ago, that the Round Rock versus Belton game would have both teams having a combined record of 1-5? Last year, Belton beat the Dragons in a bruising game, 41-34, at Kelly Reeves Stadium. Once again, Belton almost qualifies for entry into 13-6A, as they will have played three different 13-6A teams on the schedule, losing to Hendrickson and then beating Stony Point. This week, they face the Dragons. The Tigers don't pass too often, as in 3 games, they average just 10 completions for just 131 yards through the air. Look for running backs Bryce Julian and Darren Rector to be their featured attack. After the most successful season in 100-plus years at Round Rock football, the Dragons find themselves at 0-3 for the first time since anyone can remember. The brutal schedule included losses against Schertz Clemens, Temple, and Smithson Valley. The Dragons' offense is powered by the dual running back combo of Malik Pena and Marquise Brown, who combined for over 1,700 yards last year. Defensively, junior linebacker Ashton Millers leads the team in tackles, and speedy defensive back Ryan O'Keefe helps lock down the receivers. Both teams played and lost to a tough Temple team already this season. Belton lost 38-31 to Temple. Round Rock lost 48-14. 2016 IHS Fan Coach of the Year, Jeff Cheatham, looks to help to turn things around this week. The Dragons get back on track. Round Rock 28, Belton 24.
Bowie at Westlake, Burger Stadium. Think about Westlake's success over the past 3 or even 4 decades. Yes, back when Ron Schrader was coaching the team and did such a great job there. Heck, he was one of my coaches at Klein Forest High School back in the early 80s. But Drew Brees playing there and all the past success. Well, Bowie, as I mentioned earlier, since 2007, they've beaten Westlake 4 times. The Bulldogs' only regular season loss last year was to Westlake. Todd Dodge has Westlake playing really well, though, both offensively and defensively. We mentioned that when he first got to Westlake High School, he lost to Bowie in that first year. So he's got their attention, and he won't let his team forget it, trust me. But let's start with that D. The Shaps are allowing less than 2 touchdowns per game. David Neal, 3 sacks. The team only has 6. I mean, he's got half of their sacks. How about their linebackers? Jake Ellinger. Sound familiar? Yeah, you better believe it. Sam's younger brother. He can bring it as well. He's having a great season. 25 tackles. David Dickerson. He's recorded 23 stops. Both teams handled Pflugerville well. If you're one of those guys that are looking for, okay, who's the common opponent? Pflugerville. Well, Bowie beat the Panthers 44-12, while Westlake topped Pflugerville last Friday 52-3. Now, the Shaps offense is very balanced. 153 points so far this year, behind the running of Nakia Watson and his 185. Taylor Anderson, the quarterback, averaging a little less than 200 yards passing per game. That offense is big. The offensive line is fast. They're athletic. The Shaps will be tested, though, by Bowie. These old district foes are very familiar with each other. In fact, I was talking with Bowie head coach Jeff Abels. He loves the effort that they've been given so far this year. They were a little bit banged up in the quarterback position, but they looked good against Vista Ridge. He liked what he saw with his offense, the way they came out and kind of took control of that game early on. Trinidad Sanders has stepped up as the starter. He's only a sophomore. Did we mention that? Only a sophomore. Of course, Matt Wheeler's been out. In Bowie, I wouldn't be surprised if they play a little man-to-man in that game, get tough back there, and put a little pressure on and try to stop that running game. Westlake's Tate Young, Jake Ramos, they're going to have to step up. They're the wide receivers. They can get it done for Westlake. We'll see where it goes. All right, Bowie. This is my surprise pick, Rick. Bowie's going to win it. 34-31. You heard it here.
Wow.
I got to catch up with you.
Huge. That's awesome. Connolly at Hutto. Hutto and Connolly meet for the 8th straight year on Friday night. The Hippos hold a 4-3 series edge. But last year, Coach Cecil's amazing squad beat the Hippos 35-30 on their way to a 9-3 season, which saw them going 2 rounds deep into the playoffs, losing to Temple by 3 points. This year, Hutto comes in undefeated at 3-0. The Cougars are 1-1 and had a bye week last week to prepare for their 19-5A district opener. Connolly is led by quarterback Ernest Muskew and boasts a defense that returned 7 starters from a team that had an unbelievable 25 defensive turnovers, 8 of them going for touchdowns. Coach Steve Van Beater's Hippo squad is loaded. IHS Fan top 10 player, quarterback Chase Griffin, who I will give the new nickname of Iceman. Down by a point to Georgetown on Friday night at Birkelbach Stadium, Griffin led a 2-minute drive that positioned the ball on the 15-yard line, where kicker Isidoro Barrios kicked the game-winning field goal for the huge win. Wide receiver DJ Baptiste had 11 catches for 232 yards and two touchdowns. The Iceman will get revenge from last year's tough loss. Hutto, 38. Connolly, 28.
Westwood at Vista Ridge, Gupton Stadium. Jacob Towdy has completed 29 of 59 passes for 529 yards and 3 TDs, while rushing for 116 yards on 23 carries and a touchdown for Vista Ridge. Now, the Rangers are getting more balance offensively, according to their head coach, Rodney Vincent, who added that his receivers are also playing much better, led by IHS fan, Bush's Chicken top 10 player Jameel Pittman. And, of course, Pittman, who has close to 200 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns and 20 catches, also has 175 yards rushing and 3 TDs. And he can do a little bit of everything. He can return some punts, kicks. He's good on the ground. Joe Goodwin, 168 yards on 25 carries with 3 receptions for 80 yards receiving. If Vista Ridge can limit the special teams mistakes, penalties, and turnovers, they can beat Westwood, and I think they will. But listen, the Warriors defeated the Rangers 34-0 last year. The Warriors led Rouse 21-7 late, but injuries proved costly in that game for them, and they ended up losing 35-21. But watch out for quarterback Will Jennings. He was great against Leander last week, 46-21 win. In that 63-13 win over Lehman, Jennings was sensational. You know, he's got over 900 yards passing, 12 TDs, 6 against Lehman. Yakeem Murphy, 270 yards rushing and 3 TDs. Watch for Cameron Thomas as well at receiver with over 500 yards and 6 TDs. But I'm going to take Vista Ridge. Vista Ridge is going to upset Westwood this week in a close game by 3.
That may be one of the most competitive of the area this weekend. 2 old AISD foes meet at historic House Park on Friday night as Austin High faces Anderson. Both teams are coming off tough losses, are looking to get back in the win column. Coach Jeff Rhodes brings his Trojan squad in at 0-3 and has given up an average of 50 points per game. Offensively, Anderson is led by running back Coy Fulmer. The defense returns 9 starters and is led by defensive end Big Jeremiah Byers. Coach Mike Rosenthal won't have much time to feel bad about their 66-0 loss last week to A&M Consolidated. The Maroons will probably want to think much more about their 35-19 win over Aikens the week before, where junior quarterback Sam Saxton, junior transfer from Westlake, was 37 of 48 for 346 yards and 4 TDs. Junior wide receiver Sawyer Berry is Saxton's number 1 target. In what may be the most competitive games of the night, Sam Saxton will just be too much for the Trojans. Maroons over the Trojans, 38-21.
1-2 Aikens at 3-0 McCallum Thursday. Aikens is coming off a hard-fought 42-35 loss to Lehman out of Kyle. The Eagles opened the season with a 44-26 win over Crockett, then dropped a 35-19 decision to Austin High. Humberto Garza knows there is always room for improvement. Aikens is 0-5 against McCallum. I don't look for it to change this week. McCallum is just really good. Charles Taylor's their head coach. The Knights are playing well. They're 3-0. Maxwell Perez, the quarterback, has completed 21 of 36 passes for 371 yards and 7 TDs through the air with 3 picks. But the Knights' strength is their ground game behind Alex, you've got to be kidding me, Julian. Have you seen the statistics on him? Ridiculous. 673 yards rushing. He's averaging 10 yards per carry and 224 yards rushing per game. So Perez, if he's not handing the ball off, he can go to their second leading rusher out of the position because he's that man. He's got 280 yards on the ground, 37 carries, 7 touchdowns. So McCallum wins this game, and they might win it big over Aikens.
Nice. So we'll go through quickly some other games we think who will win. We have LBJ over Manor, Stony Point over Leander, Bastrop over Cedar Creek, Cedar Park will beat Eastview, Georgetown will beat Elgin, Lake Travis over Hendrickson, Cedar Ridge beats Temple, Del Valley over Reagan, Travis over Eastside, Hayes over San Antonio Reagan, San Marcos will beat San Antonio Taft, McNeil gets the win against Killeen, College Station will beat Pflugerville, Vandergrift over Harker Heights, Hyde Park over Shiner, St. Paul, and Regents beats Houston II. Wow, we went through them all. What a week. We appreciate everybody listening. If you know somebody who likes high school football, let them know. 7 to 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. 104.9 The Horn is the place to be, because if you like high school football, this is your show. For Jeff Power, this is Rick Epstein. We will see you next week under the lights.
We are IHS Fan. IHS Fan is the Austin area's premier high school football magazine. Now in our third year, our digital and print magazines are complimentary to our readership. Thousands of printed copies of the magazine are distributed to over 35 area schools from Georgetown to San Marcos and Elgin to Lake Travis. IHS Fan can help your company's message get distributed to the robust high school football community. IHS Fan has been the exclusive stadium signage sales representative for both AISD and Round Rock ISD, helping raise over $500,000 in signage revenue between the districts. Our weekly radio show, Under the Lights on 104.9 The Horn, provides our corporate partners a fantastic platform to reach thousands of potential customers.
Under the Lights!
We are IHS Fan.